What's up, guys? So it's been a minute since I made a video. Okay, I'm just gonna give you a quick overview and a quick, I don't know, prep video for Jekyll and Hyde. Excuse me. I know a lot of you will be doing this for your actual exam. So here's a quick thing for Jekyll and Hyde. And all right, here we go. All right. Also, I'm gonna give you access to this document. Okay, I'm gonna put it in the what do you call it description for you. And this has basically got all the quotes you need um, for the entire text. It's got all the main sections, all the quotes that you need for the text. You can use it as your study document. You can also use it to get your quotes from for the actual exam itself. All right, so now quickly, let's just go through the main things you need to know for Jekyll and Hyde. Now, um, you could be doing this for your essay, you could be doing it for your Scot text or your GCSE. All right, so a couple of things you need to know about the text. All right, first thing is just a story. So, what is the story of Jekyll and Hyde? Real simple. Obviously, you should be writing this down, yeah. Real simple. The story is okay. Mr. Utterson, a lawyer. I'm gonna make it real simple for you. A lawyer, okay, tries to uncover the truth about Mr. Hyde. So basically, he believes Mr. Hyde is blackmailing his friend. Okay, he believes Mr. Hyde is blackmailing his friend. Obviously, who's his friend? His friend's obviously Dr. Jekyll. Dr. Jekyll. Okay, I'm gonna shorten it. Okay, as the story goes on, the truth is revealed. No. Jekyll, Hyde are the same person. This eventually leads to Dr. Jekyll's suicide. Suicide. Okay, there you go. So that's the story. That's the story overall. You could also include here that, Hyde is Jekyll's dark side or his evil side, but we're gonna get to that in a minute once we get to the actual what do you call it? Character. Once we get to the character analysis. Okay, but this is the main story, so you can pause it if you want and then take a copy of this. Okay, good. So the next thing you need to know, all right, is just about the setting. So every story basically has a couple main features. If you know these main features, it doesn't really matter what the question is in terms of the essay. You can write an essay about it, and you'll be able to do it relatively easily. So you need to understand the story, the setting, the characters, the main theme or themes, and quotes. Okay, that's essentially what you need to know. An additional thing that you could know, which would be good, would be the style. Okay, so certain like style things that are used, like the way that the book's put together or the play's put together, or whatever. But fundamentally, those other things are the main things that you need to know. Okay, so that's what I'm going to cover with you, and you'll be good to go pretty much. All right. So anyway, the next thing is the setting. Okay, now what you need to know about the setting, all right, is primary setting. Okay, is Victorian. Is Victorian London. Okay, Victorian London. Okay, which has a culture of say, I don't want to say keeping up appearances, but of uh, it's right to look like a, let me say, culture of, you should try to look like a moral, good person. People strive to be gentlemen, okay? Excuse me, or at least look like gentlemen and ladies, obviously, but there's no real women in this text apart from like the housekeeper. Um, yeah, there's no real women in this text who like have a main role. So anyway, the main thing here is that people in the culture, Victorian culture, they're striving to be like gentlemen. There's certain like codes of ethics that they need to follow. Okay. Excuse me, I've actually read books that are called like How to Be a Gentleman. See, that's why I'm come on. No, I've read books, okay, which are like How to Be a Gentleman. It's literally telling you, okay, when you walk on the street, walk like this, let the woman go on like this side, use this type of fork to eat this type of food. Like it's a whole code of here's how you should act, here's the right way of acting, having manners and all that kind of stuff. But the reality is, even if people don't act that way, and this is really important, okay, is they try to look like they're acting that way. And this is going to be very important, obviously, because the main character in the text, Dr. Jekyll, his whole thing is that he's appearing to look like a gentleman. That's the point. Okay, that's the whole point. Okay, so that's the background. Now, obviously, there is this would be like the sort of good side, you could say, good side, the well-mannered and all that side of London. Okay, now this would, if you want to talk about how does the setting connect to the characters, the setting of the good side of London, the well-mannered gentleman side of London, okay, would be a symbol of Jekyll, yeah? Jekyll, well-mannered, gentlemanly, good side of London. Jekyll. Okay. So basically everything that's like good about London in terms of the well-mannered, gentlemanly, upper class, all that stuff, all that would be like a symbol of Dr. Jekyll. Okay, he represents all those qualities. Simple, basically. The people in London, they talk nicely to people, they have good manners. Okay, the streets are clean. Dr. Jekyll talks nicely to people, he has good manners, he treats people kindly. His house is clean, his house looks really nice, etc., etc. Yeah, that's the point. Okay, now London also has another side to it. London has the dark side, okay, which is when the dark side of London, which is dirty, it's dirty, dangerous, has crime. Okay, now obviously this is a symbol of, symbol of Hyde, symbol of Hyde. Now this dark, dangerous side of London, this all happens when Arson is moving towards this all happens when Arson is going to Hyde's house. So this is important to know as well. Hyde has his own house because it's a little bit confusing. Okay, so Jekyll has a house that's split into two. Okay. But Hyde also has his own house. Okay, and the way the streets and things, the sides of London that you have to take to get to his house, all of that is like dark, dangerous, there's crime there, all that kind of stuff. All these obviously represent Hyde, who's also dangerous, mysterious, he commits crime, he kills people. Yes, so that's the setting, okay? Excuse me. Now, that's the overall big picture setting. Now, again, I'll just quickly talk about the Jekyll's house. So the way to understand Jekyll's house, okay, is that it has two sides to it, okay? Excuse me. It has like the front door or like the main door. The main door, it leads to nice part of house. Okay, and then it has the laboratory door, okay, which is dark, hidden part of house. Okay, now Jekyll uses this door. Okay, Hyde uses this door. Again, this is obviously just like a symbol for the two of them. So Jekyll uses the nice door, the one I can't remember if it's at the front of the house, but anyway, it leads to the nice part of the house. Okay, the part with the nice fire and the what's it called? Decorated, nicely decorated room and everything. So he uses that door. He gets to that part. People, when he invites guests over, they use that door too. Hyde, on the other hand, he uses the other door, the back door, the one that's the hidden door, the hidden entrance, the dark one. Excuse me. So he can enter and leave the house without people seeing him. The lab door, which is again, it represents him. Yeah, he's a mystery. People don't know who he is. He's the hidden part of Jekyll. He's the mysterious part of Jekyll. You understand? Yeah, that's the symbolism basically. So if you get asked a question like symbolism of Hyde, or no symbolism of the setting, that's what you're going to answer about. Okay, so you're going to connect the things I just talked about to a character, basically. Because like I said, Hyde has his own house too. We don't need to talk about that. If you look at his house, it looks sort of gentlemanly, but then he burns it down once he burns a lot of it. He burns a lot of things inside of it, which shows his destruction. Anyway, it doesn't really matter. You don't need to know about that. The only thing you need to know, okay, is just sort of what I talked about above. Good. Okay. Okay, fine. The next thing we're going to talk about, okay, is the main characters. Now, the only main characters really you need to know about, okay, is Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Arson. That's it. Okay, of course there are others. Okay, like Lanyon, Carew, some of the housekeepers, Enfield. There's others, but you don't need to know about them. Okay, they're just like side characters. Um, the main ones you need to know about are these. All right. Yes. Okay, let's just quickly take them one at a time. What's the main things you need to know? Okay, so I'll quickly summarize them for you. So Dr. Jekyll is a well-respected, this is what you need to know about him, well-respected scientist. Excuse me, he's a well-respected scientist, gentleman, seen as kind, and people like to be around him, and people like to be around him. Okay. He is also wealthy. Wealthy. There you go. All right, so that's basically Jekyll. So he's well respected. He's kind. He's kind to his friends. People like to be around him. People admire him. They want to be like him. Sounds like me, yeah. I'm joking. But anyway, people want to be like him. You want to be around him. He's a scientist, so people think he's like smart. He is smart, obviously. He's smart. People want to be around him. He's also wealthy. He comes from a wealthy family. So he's like the perfect ideal Victorian gentleman, basically. That's what he represents. Okay. Um, Now, the way that this is sort of classically taught, the way that this is generally understood is that he represents like good. Okay. He represents, say, the theme of good. He represents the theme of good. Um, I don't know if I would agree with that. I don't know if he represents good or he represents, maybe for me, I'd say he represents acting good. Maybe that might be closer to the actual reality of it. He represents acting good. I wouldn't say that he's evil, but I don't know if I would say that he's good either. It's more so, in my opinion, it's more so that he acts good. He does the things that he's supposed to do. Um, while he desires, obviously, to engage in bad things, to engage in evil, which is why he creates Hyde, basically. Okay, anyway, yes, that's Dr. Jekyll. Good. Okay. Anyway, so the next thing is now Hyde. Okay, so Hyde. Oh, wait, one more thing on Dr. Jekyll. Okay, this is really important. Okay, he wants to do evil while not having his reputation ruined. This is why he creates Hyde, not having his reputation ruined. And let's just say he does have limits though. Limits though. When Hyde kills Carew, that's when he just stop things. He also feels pain for the bad. Right. Okay. Excuse me. So this is really important. Okay, so you need to know that he wants to do bad, right? It's not just that he's like tricked into it or something. He actively wants to do it, and he enjoys it. Okay, he wants to do it. He enjoys it. He likes doing evil. He likes to. He thinks that it's himself. He says something like, "I was no more myself when I was," and I forget the exact quote, but like engaging in sort of bad things, as I was when I was like lecturing, basically people to like not do stuff like that. And also he at the same time though he's not like he's not like a bad person or like an evil person. We can't say that. You could say he's a hypocrite for sure, even though he says he's not one. But he does feel pain, okay, for the bad things he does. He says, "I'm the chief of sinners, but I'm also the chief of sufferers." That's a quote you can use. Um, which means he feels pain for the things he does when he's Hyde. He feels guilty to some extent. You can also say that he feels bad because he ultimately kills himself. Whether he kills himself based on his reputation being ruined and that he knows he can't fix it, or he kills himself based on feeling bad, it's up to you. I'll let you think about it. You can decide for yourself. Both could be correct. It's just you need to think about it yourself. Okay. Anyway, next is Hyde. Okay, so the way to understand Hyde, okay, is excuse me, Hyde is the collection of all of Jekyll's bad qualities, all of his evil put into human form. Put it that way, put into human form. So basically, but also he has, and I'll get to this in a minute. Don't get confused, yeah. Talk about that in a second. Okay, so basically, the way to understand Hyde, okay, is that all of Jekyll's like bad qualities, his fear, his anger, his desires, his violent side, his arrogance, all of those things uh, get combined. Okay, they get pulled out of him and combined into one person. Okay, imagine like all your bad qualities, all your bad stuff. Excuse me, all your bad qualities and parts of you. Imagine they got taken out of you and they got put into a person. Okay, they got given life and they got put into human form. That's essentially what Hyde is. Basically, that's what Hyde is. So this is why we say that Hyde, obviously, okay, Hyde represents evil in the text. Obviously, Hyde represents evil in the text. Now it's important to know, okay, that Hyde also has, now again, the way this is normally taught is real simple, like Jekyll's good, Hyde's evil. It's more complicated than that. The way to understand Hyde, okay, is that when these bad qualities are taken out of Jekyll, it's not just the bad ones that go uh, that are taken out of him, but also some of his good qualities travel through and manifest as Hyde too. So you'll see in the text parts of Hyde, okay, which are actually sort of, not necessarily good, but he has some like gentlemanly qualities. Let's see if I can find you a quote here. Let's just say Hyde. So for example, his house, Hyde's house, okay, is decorated, okay, like a gentleman's house. All right, his own house. This is the house he lives in on the dark side of London. It's actually decorated nicely. Okay, it's not decorated in a bad way. So this is, for example, one of the qualities he gets from Jekyll. So it's filled with wine, silver plates, etc. Now also, when he talks to people at times in like a way, like a gentlemanly way. I don't know if I got any quotes for that, but like for example, when he tramples the girl, if you go back to that scene, you'll see that when they capture him, he doesn't right away sort of get angry or shout or anything like that. He says to them, "Okay, I'm basically like I'm your prisoner. Okay, what do you want me to do, basically?" And then yes, okay, I don't have a quote for here, but basically you'll see it. If I look up, I'll just show you. Okay, so basically when he talks, you need to understand that Hyde is mostly evil, but he has a little bit of Jekyll's good in him, a little bit of it. You'll see it here, okay? He has a little bit of his good in him, and obviously this makes sense because they're the same person, okay, obviously. So if he's all of Jekyll's evil, okay, if he's made from Jekyll, then he's obviously he's gonna have some of his good too. Okay, a little bit of it. I'll show you. Okay, so the child's family, blah blah blah. Okay, so this is when they catch him. This is when they catch Hyde. So basically, he stepped on the girl and hurt her. So Enfield goes and grabs him. Okay, he right away he sees his face. Now, this is another thing, another reason that you know he has some of Jekyll's good. They all say that they hate him, but they don't know why they hate him because he doesn't look particularly bad or doesn't look particularly evil. He's small and he's pale but he's not. He has, like they say, we hated him, but we don't know why we hate him. He looks deformed without any deformity, meaning he has no physical. This is another thing to understand. He doesn't look ugly. Okay, so that's another thing that's kind of regularly taught, which is not true. He doesn't look ugly. Okay, he just feels ugly. That's the point. Okay, he feels like there's something wrong with him. It's not that he looks that way, but he feels that way. Okay. Anyway, so look at how he talks. Okay, look, this is him talking. If you choose to make capital this accent, I am naturally helpless, no gentleman, but wishes to avoid a scene. Name your figure. Okay, that's him talking. So you can see that he's not just purely like an animal, or not purely like 100%, savage or something, but he can talk like a gentleman when he wants to. Okay, the point is, at times he'll leave this and then he'll like rage and he'll show the real bad side, which is how he is most of the time. Okay, committing crimes and all that. But it's important to know, okay, that he does have some good, good in him, a little bit of good in him. Okay, so he's mostly evil without any like this. Okay, pale and dwarfish, which in itself isn't ugly. It's just a little bit small, a little bit pale. Gave an impression of deformity without any nameable malformation. Okay, his smile doesn't look good, but do you see? There's nothing in him, which is all these are points against him, but they couldn't explain why I feared him or was disgusted by him. So they don't know why they hate him. You can say that they hate him, okay, because he makes people feel afraid. People hate him, but they don't know why. Okay, now I'll tell you why. It's because they can sense the evil inside him. That's why. Okay, they can sense the evil inside him. They can sense the evil inside him, which he fundamentally is. Okay, so the point is, okay, Hyde is mostly evil, a tiny bit good. And I can just say the tiny bit is just that he has Jekyll's good manners, okay, when he wants to use them. And again, he doesn't do it all the time. It's just here and there, yeah. The rest of the time he's committing crimes and hurting people. Okay, so that's Hyde. Okay, that's Hyde. Mostly evil, does a lot of bad things, hurts people. But he doesn't look on the surface as if there's anything wrong with him. It's something below, something spiritual, you could say, that they can sense, they can feel the evil inside of him, which makes them scared, makes them hate him, makes them want to kill him, and so on. Yes, okay, so that's Hyde. Good. Now, I'm not going to say too much about Arson, just quickly. He's a lawyer. Okay, lawyer. He's a gentleman. He's a friend of Jekyll, one that starts the story. So if you get asked what's his story purpose, what is his role, it's that he starts the story and that he um he is main investigator trying to solve mystery of Hyde, giving him money and acting strange. Okay, but that's why it's called the strange case of Jekyll and Hyde. The reason it's the strange case is because it's the case that Mr. Artisan tries to solve, or he does solve. Okay, in the story, the story is following him as he solves the case, basically. All right. So in terms of him, what he's like as a person, you can just say he's hardworking, good friend, honest. He has self-control. Just read the first sort of chapter of the book. Read the first paragraph, and you'll get more. All right. Anyway, this is sort of Mr. Artisan. You can pause it if you need to. I'm not going to talk too much about him. All right, good. Now, in terms of the main themes in the text, okay, main themes in the text, you can say is you have the theme of evil, okay, which is you just talk about Hyde. That's probably the easiest one to do. You've got theme of evil, which is Hyde. You got the theme of duality, just that people are good and bad. Okay, and then you have, say, theme of mystery, okay, which is just the whole story trying to find the truth. Okay, that's enough, huh? That's enough. If you're gonna write about this, I recommend you just focus on this one. It's probably the easiest to do. You could also do this one, and this one's simple too. Okay, good. So those are the main themes in the text. If you're gonna write an essay on this, pick one of these. Again, I'd focus on this one. It's probably the easiest to do. Okay, good. Now, in terms of the actual quotes, okay, like I said, I've got this big document here for you guys. I'm gonna put the link to it. I'll put like a PDF version or like a Word doc version of it for you guys in the actual description. Now, in terms of what you need, okay, so what you need, okay, if you're gonna write an essay on it, for your essay, okay, memorize 6 quotes. Actually, just for both, for your essay or Scot text, for both. Obviously, if you're doing GCSE as well, that's not my specialty, but you're gonna need to memorize quotes too. So memorize quotes, 6 quotes. Now, in terms of what you want to do, okay, you want to memorize 3 for Jekyll, 3 for Hyde. Okay, and in terms of my tips for you, okay, memorize ones that are easy to explain, easy to remember, and yes, that's it. And just focus on Jekyll and Hyde and you'll be good to go. Okay, the reason I say easy to explain is when you go to the exam, okay, you're gonna have pressure. You're gonna have pressure on you, okay? You're gonna have pressure on you, so it's gonna be more difficult. If the quote is difficult already, it's gonna be more difficult for you to explain it under that pressure. So, for example, it wouldn't be a good idea to pick this, okay, something troglodytic, shall we say? Even though you could explain what troglodytic means, troglodyte is something to do with like a ancient form of animal or human or something like that. It means like he's not really human, he's less evolved, or he seems like he's from the past, something like that. Okay, but that's a lot of thinking to do. That's difficult. The word itself is difficult. Like rather than pick that, why don't you just pick something like just pick something more simple, like this, Satan's signature upon a face. So the word Satan obviously means the devil. So they're comparing him to be like the devil. That's easier. That's more easy, basically. Does that make sense? So pick something which is simple because you want to reduce the amount of thinking you have to do in the exam. And that way you can just put all of your thinking into like what you're trying to say and into overall sort of time management, overall completing the tests that you're doing. Okay. It's like imagine you're gonna drive a car, all right, and imagine you're gonna drive, and for some reason you're gonna drive like 100 miles an hour. Yeah, you need to drive 100 miles an hour for some reason. You wanna have all of the main skills and things you need to do. You wanna have them all sort of easy in terms of like muscle memory. You don't want to be thinking, oh, I need to put my hand here now. I need to put this clutch down at this amount of time. You don't want to be thinking about all that yet. You want to be thinking what's in front of me, what's on the road, where am I looking, and all that. And then that way your chances of being successful on that drive are way higher. Does that make sense? Anyway, so that's essentially Jekyll and Hyde. Okay, that's Jekyll and Hyde. It's pretty simple. Okay, one more thing, just finally before I go. Okay, is that 2 more things. Okay, before I go. So one thing, okay, is that I've created this website, okay, and it's in the description. It's called Prepare to Pass. Okay, now I made this. I believe I'm the first, yeah. I don't think anyone else has done this before me. I believe I'm the first, at least in Scotland, yeah. I made this, okay, for you guys specifically to help you. It gives you a full, if you're doing that 5 or you're doing higher, it's 2 complete video courses, okay, of lessons that tell you everything you need to know completely from every RUAE, essay, Scot text, folio, everything you need to know, okay, to pass your exams. And I made it like super cheap. Okay, the reason I made this, all right, is because not everyone can afford basically to what do you call it? Not everyone can afford, you know, one-to-one lessons, or not everyone can, afford to spend money on that. So I basically made this. It's practically free at £5 a month, and it's got a 7-day free trial on top of that. I made this so then everyone can hopefully get a chance of getting what they need to know to pass their exams. So yeah, please do sign up and what do you call it? Use it. Okay, hopefully you benefit from it. Yeah, it's basically just like what I teach my students when I teach them like one-to-one. Now, just on that, I with the one-to-one, if you want lessons from me, okay, one-to-one. I'm offering, excuse me, a limited group class, okay, which is gonna have 4 students in it. So it's still very limited, and one-to-one with me is not open, just in terms of like anyone can apply and they get a space. Okay, you need to apply now, okay, and basically, tell me why you'll be like an actual serious student. Because my time is limited, I value my time a lot, so I don't just take on anyone yet. Basically, I only have a few spaces. So if you're interested in this, if you're interested in actual one-to-one lessons, the link is in the description as well. Yeah, it's School for Geniuses. But anyway, the main thing is I want you guys to use this. Okay, again, it's super cheap. Yeah, real cheap. Yeah. Anyway, I hope you guys have been well. It's been a while. Welcome to everyone new that's subscribed. Hope you kids are doing good, and yeah, good luck on your exams. If you have any questions or anything, just put them obviously in the comments. If you want me to cover any other specific text, I've been a bit busy. Not just a teacher, you know what I'm saying? Man's got the business he's going on. So anyway, it's okay. Gotta look out for the kids, you know what I'm saying? Gotta look out for the kids, man. All right, good luck, and take care, yeah.